Hello, it's Mark's Walking Blog. Today I'm in my garden, and this is the wild part, and this is where I often have a wild camp. A wild camp in inverted commas. A camp in my wild part of the garden. And it's far enough away from the house. We don't have any near neighbours, and it's almost like camping out in the hills. And I often do this when I can't get out and about and I just want a bit of a sleep. I put this on Twitter and I thought, oh well, this is silly, everyone will think we're silly, but actually loads of people said, oh, I do that all the time, so I feel a bit better about that. At any rate, what I'm going to do today is a quick video, or maybe it'll be slightly longer, about what I normally take on a 3-season backpack. Often just sort of overnights or a couple of nights. I'm not a particularly long distance because I don't always have the time. But these things that I do, they're not necessarily recommendations, but if you can take something from it, then great. So I'm going to just put this camera on the tripod. See you in a second. So here we are. Quite a few of you know about my duplex Cuben fibre tent, or don't know what they call it, DCF now, Dyneema Composite Fabrics, but Cuben fibre. Very happy with this tent, and it's fantastic for the weight. I won't go into too much detail because I've got a video up on YouTube, my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe, and it's done pretty good. I think last time I looked at it, I had something like 26,000 views, so obviously you're doing something right there. But yeah, great. And I was out in the Galloway Hills just the other day, and the wind was really strong. I mean, the forecast said 50-60 mile an hour winds on the top, but I got down near a lock. It's a bit more sheltered, but I reckon we had gusts 35-40 mile an hour, rock solid. I think it helps because I'm holding this structure up with some pacer poles, and these are carbon fibre trekking poles, and they're really sturdy, and this really keeps this tent up well. Flick lock, so you can adjust them once you're sort of put the tent up, or when you're putting the tent up. So if there's a bit of a slight slope, you can adjust the pacer pole and get the height right on there. But I'm really happy with this shelter. Weighs, I think, around about 2-person tent, around about 700 grams. Fantastic. As I say, I won't go into a load of detail about it because it's on my YouTube channel. So my trusty Gossamer Gear Mariposa, most comfortable pack I've ever worn. Great, loads of space, massive pockets everywhere. My duplex tent goes on the outside there. Just loads of pockets, just a great carry. Really comfortable. I don't know what more to say about that. The only slight downside is that sometimes these buckles slip a bit, but that's about it. It's just a great product. I know a lot of people have this, but you know, you'd be hard pushed to find something better. Maybe if it was made in Cuben fibre and it was completely waterproof, then yeah, great, probably costs a lot more, but this is a great backpack. So that's the main thing there. What I sleep in 3-season, this is an Enlightenment Equipment Revelation quilt. I've gone away from sleeping bags. To my mind, these are just so much better than a sleeping bag. Much more practical, easy to get in, more like sleeping at home. You're not constricted. It's got a zip foot box. You can unzip that completely, take these snaps out, and on warm evenings in the summer, and I also do with my wife quite a bit of camping, well, camping out in our VW transporter camper van. I can just open this completely out like a blanket. It's rated down to probably about -5, so it's actually quite warm for this time of year, and I might be looking at just a lighter one. But you can close this up. There's a strap system as well for attachments to the pad. I don't always use that, but it's really versatile, really comfortable. I might do a bigger sort of longer video on this, but you know, I tell you what, you really can't beat this. This is so much better than a sleeping bag, I think. You know, and I can wear this as a piece of insulation as well, quite easily. You know, I could actually put this, I suppose, around me as an extra piece of insulation while I'm doing the cooking or something like that. That's quite easy to do, just like that. Use one of these snaps or what have you, or find the right one. I don't know where it's gone now. But you got the idea. I can do that, you know, and I'm really comfortable. I can still use my hands and everything, and it's you know, it's great. If there was one thing, I'd say more people should be using these. I'm going to stick this in the back here. This is my latest backpacking pillow. This is a Nemo Philo Luxury. It weighs a little bit, it's not that much, and it looks like it's massive. It's actually nearly as wide as a pillow you have at home. Okay, it's not as deep. This is fantastic. It's the best pillow I've had. Brilliant comfortable. So it's got some memory foam in it. It blows up, and actually it packs down. I won't do it now, but it packs down to about that much. Just turns inside itself. There's a stuff sack inside there, and if you turn it over, if you want extra comfort, you can put, you know, a fleece or something like that behind it. I don't usually bother. That just goes on top of my mat. Great bit of gear, that. Not cheap, a little bit heavy, but you know, what's the price of a really good night's sleep? This one here is my Neoware. Very, very comfortable. I use this during the sort of summer period, and then I've got an Xtherm for winter. But these are great. They're really, really comfortable. I wondered whether these horizontal chambers originally would be. I had the Exped ones with the longitudinal chambers, and I thought they were comfortable, but this is much better. I think this is much more supportive, much more comfortable. You can get a real good night's sleep, and that's really important after a long day's walk. So that's that there. What else have we got? Cooking. A lot of people have got these. So this is my Caldera cone, and the Evernew ultralight, it's a 900mm pot. I nearly always use meths, or maybe biofuel, little slimline tonic water, that is. Can't remember who makes this one, but it's a replacement for the Caldera cone one, which is falling apart now. Little mess bottle, that's enough for a couple of days. A little measure, and I use just for lightness, and it seems to be fine. I've tested this out, nothing catches fire. I just use a couple of bit of tin foil underneath to make sure that you don't get any, here you can see it, tin foil under there. You don't set the grass alight. There we go. So that's cooking. What else have I got? In the summer period, I use a very light one. This is Marmot. I think weighs less than, I think it's about 180 grams. Really nice, light, waterproof. And to be honest, if you're a bit of a weekend backpacker like I am, you can choose the times when you want to go, and you might get some showers. Often this just stays in my pack, so you know, you want something light not to carry around with it, and it's actually pretty waterproof, no problem with that. Here is a pair of Rab Event trousers. Very good, waterproof. Again, stays in my pack most of the time. Got a nice zip on there. Works really well. I'm not sure that they make this brand anymore. The Gerilium pants. They might do. Great, quite lightweight. I could get lighter waterproofs, but I don't really want to spend the money. Then my good trusty old Montane wind shirt. Had this for years. It works brilliantly, weighs nothing. It's surprisingly warm, cuts the wind out. Great. Talking about warmth, this is my absolute favourite bit of backpacking for summer at least, and even in the winter as a layer. This is the Vapor Light Ultra Firm hoodie from Berghaus. Again, weighs next to nothing, packs up really small, reversible. You've got one side which is for cooler weather and one side for warm weather. Nice hood on there, full length zip. Just great. You can sleep in that if it's a bit cold, and it weighs about as much as a base layer really, so it's nothing. It's nothing to worry about. If it's particularly cooler during the early part, I also take this one. I might sleep in it. This is a Montane pullover. Again, really nice. This is reversible as well. Again, doesn't weigh very much, packs down really small. They're both synthetics, these ones. I do take down, but synthetics you can abuse them a bit more, I suppose. Whatever the weather, I always take these. These are my Primaloft trousers, and they're by, who are they by? Montane again. Nice bit of insulation. You can sleep in these too if it's particularly cold, but it's just nice to be able to get out of your Montane Terra pants, which I'm wearing here. Fantastic trousers again. A lot of people got these. Not going to say too much about them, but they're really good. Take these off if they're dirty. Getting this nice sort of luxury feel about the whole thing. Again, packs up small. Really good. What else have we got in here? My Columbus cap. Keep losing this. I've just bought another one. This is the third one I have. Omni Shade. It's got the sort of Foreign Legion sort of neck protector, but you can tuck that away, and that's really good. Doesn't weigh anything, and great for keeping sun off. Shirt. This is an Outdoor Designs, I think. Yes. I like hiking shirts. You can undo the buttons to ventilate. You can use this collar, and there's a proper stud here which keeps it off your neck. You can roll your sleeves up, you can roll them down if there's midges or you haven't got much sun cream with you. Again, it's great. Shoes. These are the Salomon X Ultras. These ones are Gore-Tex line ones, which I use mainly during the cooler part, wetter part of the year. I've also got a pair that are non-Gore-Tex. Really comfortable, lightweight. I know a lot of people use these. I'm very happy with them. Bug season is upon us, particularly in the mountain areas, particularly in Scotland. They were just coming out a few weeks ago at when I was in the Galloway Hills, but the wind kept most of them off. But this is a little bug suit that I put on when it gets bad. It covers down to your waist. You can zip yourself up. It's even got a pair of gloves as well, if it's really bad. That's a good bit of kit. Just makes camping out in midge areas much more bearable. They're not much fun. I normally take the Smidge midge repellent, which I won't show you, but you know, because not much to it. Let's do this up. Get it back in. Will it go in? Come on. Yeah. There we go. Talking about gloves, I've got these, which I always wear, well, I always take with me. They're Gore-Tex over mitts, extremity ones, and I'll layer that over a pair of gloves. I think the gloves I've got here, which I always take one pair of gloves, and in the winter I probably take 3 pairs and layer them, a liner, then a thicker glove, and then these. In the summer I just take this, which is a Rab, quite thin, merino wool, and I think there's a bit of Primaloft in them as well, and also you can use a smartphone with them, with these fingertip things, which is good. There's a stuff sack for that, very small, for that Berghaus hoodie. What else have we got here? Probably most of the major things. Oh yeah, I always take a base layer. This is just a Rab one to sleep in, take the shirt off. This I don't usually use in the Cuben fibre tent, because Cuben fibre ground sheets aren't particularly slippery, but this is a bit of anti-slip matting, which if you've got seal nylon tent, seal nylon ground, you'll know you'll slide over the place. Just cut a small bit up there, it costs next to nothing. That goes around your hips, or the upper part of your, from down to your hips, underneath the sleeping mat, and you will stop sliding around. Really good, that, really good. But I don't always take it with this tent because you don't need to. So that's that. Always take a map and compass with me. Let's have a look at the other stuff sacks. What have I got in here of interest? Sleeping bag thing. Actually, with the Enlightened equipment Revelations quilt, there's also a nice hoodie as well, because obviously you don't have a hood being a quilt. I always take that along. You don't weigh anything, but to be honest, unless it's winter time, really, you don't need that. But it's there. Always take a little beanie with me. Extremity things. I don't know what these weigh. 30 grams or something, but very warm. And I take this is a Cuben fibre pack, which goes onto your rucksack like that, with a strap, waterproof, and I can put all my electronics in there. The camera, which is on the tripod, goes in there, long lens, phones and things like that. I've got a little sort of waterproof, almost like a pencil case type thing. Leads in here, nice little Anker rechargeable battery thing. Get about 3 or 4 charges of an iPhone, and I can charge my Apple Watch up with that and what have you. So that's good. Spare battery for the camera, spare SD card, all goes in there. And my Kindle Paperwhite, which is good for reading, just goes in there in one of these lock sacks. They're really good, lightweight, keeps it completely waterproof. Need to in electronics, and that's just do that twice to make sure it's completely shut. That can go in there. And then sort of odds and sods, another lock sack, notepad and pen, cleaning kits for the sensor, you know, if I'm away for a bit and get an annoying sort of mark on your sensor, can use that. Remote for the camera. If I'm putting it on a very basic tripod, get a little bubble cube thing here to get it straight for nighttime shots. And then this goes inside this. It's really just to carry all the bits and pieces in, all sorts of bits and pieces, Compede, lighter, spare cord for guys, you know, bits and pieces, some repair tape for the Cuben A tent if it was get damaged. Bits and pieces, tenacious tape, that's really good. If you get rip in something like this, this will stick to anything. It absolutely will stick to anything. That's great. Those bits, bit of shock cord, etc, etc. Those sort of things. I think that's probably it. I've got, you know, stuff in, the usual stuff that you have, and this can really weigh a lot, you know, toothbrush and foot cream and little mirror, things like that, even a comb. Yeah, when you get back to civilization. All that sort of stuff in there, contact lens stuff, so where contact lenses. Yeah, the usual stuff in there. I won't bore you too much with that. And what have I got in here? All sort of repair kit for the mat. Quite good. This time of year, earplugs and a sleeping mask, because you know the sun's up at, it's light at 3:30 now, and the sun's up at 4:30. So if you don't want to bury yourself in the sleeping bag, what have I got in here? Little Swiss Army knife. My backup thing here, if my maps fail on anything, is an old Trek GPS unit. Don't need to use that much, but it's there as an emergency. I've got a, it's not with me, I've got a Delorme satellite communicator as well. So that's that. I think that's probably about everything. Oh, there's bits and pieces in here, your usual stuff you find. Little tripod for the camera. Toilet paper, biodegradable, of course. Little medicines there, just some stuff. Tick remover, always important. Little first aid kit, and then knife and a spoon and that sort of stuff. Not a lot else in there, just bits and pieces to hand. I've got a little sit mat there, which is great. Can weigh anything, very comfortable. And finally, oh yeah, it's my mug of tea here. Have a quick sip. And then I've got here this Katadyn B3 filter, which I'm trying out rather than the water Sawyer. Pretty good. Flow rate is pretty fantastic on this, but it's started to slow a bit, and I don't know if it's going to be a problem, but at the moment that's a good bit of kit. Alternative for the water Sawyer. And then I usually have one or two of these things. This is a Nalgene canteen thing with a wide neck, just because filling small apertures on the platypus bottles can be difficult, as you can, especially if you're in sort of having to take water from locks or tarns. Not so a problem if you're running water. So that's good as well. And I think that's about everything. So if that was of any interest or any use to you, you can give a thumbs up or thumbs down if you thought it was rubbish. Won't be offended. And that's about it. So I'll see you next time.